Hey, welcome to On the Record with Chaii, a Play It Strange podcast. I'm Chaii, artist, producer, creative director, and a Play It Strange alumni. We're here to unpack different corners of the music industry, one step at a time. Let's go. DRM is New Zealand's leading digital rights management and distribution specialist. From simplifying how artists and content creators release music globally and handling uploads to platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Tidal, Amazon, and more, here's our chat with the director of DRM, Jody Garrett. Jody!
Hi.
From DRM.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. So in simple terms, how does distribution work?
Okay, so distribution's a way for an artist to get all of their music onto all of the music platforms out there. So there's over 100 platforms across the world, like your Spotify's and your YouTubes and Apple. And distributors are that way of getting all of your music and, the data around who wrote the song and song titles and all that sort of stuff that gets on to all those platforms from your distributor.
Cute. And what's the process of getting your songs onto these streaming platforms?
Yeah, so sign up with a distributor. There's distributors online. There's in New Zealand, we've got distributors like DRM from where I'm from, and there's some other distributors as well. Like go and find a distributor that you think will work for you, in terms of they might have artists that are similar to you, and yeah, basically. Sign up with them. There might be a bit of a process. There'll be an agreement. Make sure that you read through that agreement. Even getting some help with that agreement. There's lawyers and that you can go to, and make sure that you're not getting strung up for 10 years with all of your royalties going to this one distributor. And yeah, once you sign up, there'll be a way of getting your music onto the platforms.
Would love to know more about DRM. If you could tell us more about DRM and what you guys do.
DRM's been around for nearly 20 years. And it sort of started as that next step from when physical, selling, do we remember CDs? Tapes? Records?
Cassettes.
Cassettes,
I'm
brilliant.
from cassette time.
Excellent.
Believe it or not.
I'm a cassette boy too. So once the transition sort of happened, there was a company that started called Amplify that was delivering music through to, you could download music from Amplify. That then turned into DRM, which, was New Zealand's first distributor. Now I've been with DRM for the last 3 years. So I'm the director at DRM. We've got a team of 5 people there. We've got one in Sydney. And, DRM handles all of your distribution needs, but we also work as a label as well. So we work with artists on their marketing strategy, and basically anything that they need. If we can hook them up with touring and all of that sort of thing, then we will do our best to help them. So yeah, that's DRM. Yeah, so all that 20 years ago, DRM, it was started by 4 people that were in the industry, and just in the last year, we've actually sold DRM to a company called The Orchard, and The Orchard is one of the world's largest independent music distributors and labels. So that's been really exciting for us too. We've gone through a big change where we're now not only working with our artists locally and trying to export them out of New Zealand, but we're working with artists like Gorilla's new album, and we've got Oasis that are coming through, and so yeah, it's really exciting times for DRM.
That obviously helps the New Zealand roster, like on the label side as well, having those international connects and
that's kind of the whole drive. But from the owners selling the business, they really wanted to sell it to somebody that was all around independent music. So, allowing our artists to hopefully connect with or collaborate with some artists overseas, and that's our goal. And we're working through that. It's we're starting to get some really good connections, which is good.
Yeah, because there's too much good music in New Zealand,
There's so much good music.
Boom, we need those links into the international scene.
It's amazing. There's so much good music, and it's so there's such good quality. We've got such good producers. We've got such good studios in New Zealand, and now we need to export that. We need more lords.
Just like our butter and milk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get it to that little
Yeah. And maybe we can increase our price on music too.
That's what I was about to say. Well, naturally it will. Once
Yeah.
you get onto the international stage, it comes back with like, yeah, well, my show's $100 now.
Done.
Yeah. So there's a lot of chat around playlisting, and obviously a lot of people are familiar with playlisting. But what is so important about playlisting today?
Yeah, it's really interesting, even over the course of the last 3 years, and I'll go back to 3 years ago when I came into the business. As soon as you got a playlist, if you were, you pitched your music, or your distributor or a label pitched your music, and you got onto a playlist, it made quite a big impact. Like, so for example, there's a playlist that everybody looks to each week, which is New Music Friday on Spotify, which is one of their playlists that changes every week with new stuff coming out. And, if you got onto that made quite a substantial amount of streams in that first week, which was great. And then the possibility of moving to other playlists as Spotify go, well, that worked well, we're going to put it on this playlist. That was really good. I mean, we're now at the point, so fast forward 3 years to now, you can get on some of those playlists and you'll get you'll definitely get a streaming bump, but it's nothing like it used to be. Yeah. So they are very important, but they're not something that you rely on. They're not something you go, I've either made it or I haven't, based on you getting a playlist.
You'd kind of hope to be more organically, obviously, on these playlists, then it's a sign that your music's doing well. If you're getting playlisted, or if it just has that trickle effect of like, okay, I'm on this playlist, and then it gets added to a lot more. So it's kind of like look at it more of like a good sign, I guess, of
it's
seeing where the music's
it's
at.
a really good win, and we do watch the playlist every week, and if our artists get on particular playlists, yes, we're really happy. It makes a good bump at the start, but the real drivers for people to be getting themselves out there on like social platforms, particularly TikTok, as much as I don't want my kids on it, they are.
It's pretty good.
Everybody else is. And, as much as I look at my kids and go, please stay off that platform, the amount of times that they're telling me about, hey, I heard this song on TikTok, can we play it in the car? And they'll go, man, that song's really good. Yeah. It is a platform that really drives
discovering new music, I think, I'm hearing that a lot recently as well, a lot more over the years of like, discovered that on TikTok. So I think just
it's a big one.
Power of marketing your music on the socials is they can all kind of link into each other. Pops off on TikTok, then it's playlisted. If it's playlisted, vice versa,
Yeah, so, and be interesting, like, talking with you, because I do see your socials and you're very good at it. And I think it's really, take the compliment.
Thank you.
I think it's really important that artists now look at this as, yes, I am a musician and I'm putting out this music, but you do kind of have to back that up with, putting yourself out there on socials as well. You're kind of like a content creator.
Oh yeah, it's a full-time. Like, I think it's a mentality. For me personally, it was like a mentality thing. Over the years, it's like, especially in the past 5 years, I shifted my mentality into, I love content. I love doing this. And if you keep telling yourself you love something versus, oh man, I got to do content. Oh man, I hate it. It's like, the more you say that, it's not only it's not going to make it easier, it's part of it. It's part of marketing. Like, we're so lucky to have these platforms to be able to market our music so easily now, compared to like when I first started out, I was giving out CDs on the street. Like, it's definitely, I'm like really grateful for it, but I did have to like shift my mentality of like, this is great. And you can learn to like it, and it becomes like a fun part of your job.
Yeah,
it can. It's a thing in its own, though. Definitely.
It is
worth the time spent.
And it's just that you really need to. I think the approach you're taking to it's perfect. Like, I'm going to love doing this, and yes, eventually you will, because it's probably the biggest part where, if we're working very closely with a particular artist, we need, we ask for a certain amount of content, which again, I hate the word, but and that's probably the biggest part where we get stuck with releases, is that they might not have, I don't know what to do, or I haven't got the time, or I'm not very good at this. So it's trying to support them with that, because that is a really important part of a release.
100%. And I do notice, like, with a lot of artists as well, like, the more you're connected with your music or you love your music, the more you're going to want to promote it. And this is why, like, I've become more of a fan of, like, releasing music. For me personally, this is not for everyone, closer to the time that I've made it. Then I'm more excited about sharing that, because it's more recently made. And by recent, I mean, like, within the last year or half a year. Then it makes me, like, it just shows that the artist is backing themselves up and they're loving what they're putting out. So if you do see someone, like, pushing their music a lot, it's just, that's a great, look in the industry, for the whole industry, because they're like, oh, damn, like, they like their music.
And I think
and it's nice for us too,
Yeah, I think a way that we try to explain it to artists is there's now around 120,000 songs going up on Spotify, as an example, every day. Like, it's a huge amount of songs. People have got so much choice thrown at them, and algorithms throwing music at them, and the same with on socials. If you can get something that is going to tie somebody into what you're all about and they connect with that, then they're more likely to go to the platforms and listen to your music. So,
and, like, I guess that comes with, like, brand identity and, like, having, building something for yourself where you can then promote that brand and and
who am I? What do I stand for? What's my brand? And how do I want to portray? Like, the main thing is, like, being as genuine as possible
100%.
about who you are and the messages that you've got in your music and stuff. So
I love that.
Yeah, be genuine.
Speaking of the time we're in now, but let's think about where we're heading. Like, where do you think we're heading in the next 5 years when it comes to streaming? How do you see that within the next 5 years?
Yeah, it's kind of where I hope we're heading. So maybe this is more of a hopeful than.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I sort of hope, I hope that we get to a point where more of the share of money that people are spending on those subscription to the platform is being shared with artists. It is a really low amount, as we all know, per stream that goes to an artist and their team. So I'm hoping that changes. And I think where we might be going is hopefully we're heading to platforms that are a bit, take YouTube as an example, where you can go and discover an artist and you can just see everything about them. You can see all their shorts, their social stuff. They've got videos of their music, but they've got videos of what they're all about and what they're doing,
upcoming shows,
behind the scenes and shows and stuff like that. And I'm hoping that we're moving more to that. You can see it in some of the changes on the platform where, Spotify is building in videos that they're now showing. So they're trying to copy that sort of YouTube structure and model. But also there might be a chance where you subscribe to an artist. So, if there's platforms built that are offering a really good experience of, content that you won't find anywhere else for that artist, and you can go and sign up to them, become a super fan or whatever it is, and you might pay a certain amount and that goes just directly to the artist.
Exclusive content,
exclusive content.
People want to feel a part of something that's more intimate and more closer to the artist.
Totally. Yeah. And they feel comfortable spending that money. So I hope we're going towards that.
And speaking of all the different platforms that we were just saying, in which platform do you see the most revenue in, and which platforms should artists be prioritizing, if there is any platforms that you think they should?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to look at Spotify first. They are sort of, for DRM in particular, around 60 to 70% of the streaming volume that comes through to our artists. So yeah, Spotify is a big one, and they're obviously developing that platform all the time. So yeah, you've definitely got to look at Spotify. The reason why Spotify is so big in New Zealand is quite early on they teamed up with like the telcos, to create free subscription to start with, and they've become very, very popular. In New Zealand, YouTube is growing.
Yep. It's
and
massive internationally.
yeah. And so in other countries, YouTube's the biggest platform. It's growing in New Zealand, it's growing worldwide, and they're changing the platform often as well. Apple's sort of, 5 to 10%, and then there's a whole lot of other platforms, some where they're only, in particular countries that are very small, but some artists do really well with them.
Yeah.
We've got one artist that does very well with some of the Chinese-based platforms. We've got lots of different. We've got Fat Freddy's, and they do well on lots of different platforms that you wouldn't expect. So
depends on the audience, I guess, as well, of the artists. And this is the, streaming platforms is the way in to different territories and stuff. So we're not just limited to, even though YouTube might not be as big in New Zealand as other places, I think it should be taken more seriously here, because it is your gateway into like a really wide audience that tapping into potentially. Is that kind of how you would?
Yeah, it's like genres, like you take reggae as an example.
Yeah.
Reggae is massive in New Zealand, but it's also massive in the Pacific Islands. It's big in Hawaii, and it's big across some of the South American countries as well. So YouTube is a really good way to get to those markets, particularly in the Pacific Islands as well, where YouTube's definitely their biggest platform to see everything on. So, really important that you are accessing all platforms.
All platforms, yeah. That was about to say all of them.
All of them.
All of them can tick off different.
And really important that how each platform is going for you, because there are things that you can do to grow particular platforms.
Amazing. And on the topic of YouTube, we've seen that DRM is a certified YouTube MCN. Can you explain what that means for artists?
Yeah. Now, how long have we got? We got an hour, 2 hours.
Well, and maybe just for if this doesn't apply to like artists starting out, then
no, it's a really good feature. It's so an MCN is a multi-channel network. Cool. So we are the only ones in New Zealand that run a multi-channel network. What that means is that we've partnered with Google, who own YouTube, and we can accept artist channels into our network. What it does for the artist, it gives them a better revenue rate. It gives them access to more features that they wouldn't usually get. And really it's around the monetization. But what we also do is we work quite closely on their strategy with YouTube. Cool. So, there's lots of things that you should be doing on YouTube, and if you do them, it can help grow your music. It can help the algorithm. All of the platforms, whether it's YouTube or Spotify, they like you to be using their tools. They want you to use everything. They want you to connect. They want you to answer comments. Yeah. They want you to put out posts, all of that sort of stuff. And if you do that, it does actually help with the algorithm. They will go, this is active. We're going to push this. People are liking it. We're going to push it some more.
Because I imagine it could be quite a little bit overwhelming for someone starting out and seeing that, I have to, do this and like be across all these platforms, be answering all the comments across this. Is there like some kind of advice you have for someone starting out? Like, do you reckon, start off by being on all those platforms and just do your best at like interacting and being as active as you can on all of them? Or would you recommend them to like have a focus point or for someone starting it?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, because it is a lot. There's a lot to it. I would make sure you're doing everything on Spotify and YouTube and Apple. Those are your three big ones for New Zealand to start with. And the way in which to do that is there's two ways. Find your favourite band, see what their YouTube looks like. I'm fingers crossed that they do it really well, but if it's a big, amazing band, I'm sure they will be. Yeah. And just see all the things that they're doing, see the way they're answering the comments and, how often they're doing that. The other way to do it is, might be a bit controversial, but jump on to ChatGPT.
Okay, we love a ChatGPT.
An AI or whatever, and just ask the question, I'm a musician, I'm loading onto these platforms. Give me a list of all the tools and things that you should do. It's a simple paragraph like that, and it will spit out a whole bunch of, you should do this for this reason. Now, it's not that you sit there and rely on that. It just gives you a starting point as to, okay, why do I do that? How do I do that? Yep. And, how do I see that that's working?
Cool.
So I think, there's so many tools out there now. But I like your idea. You should just focus. Let's just focus on those top 3 for now.
3 for now, and then I think once people see the impact and naturally, like, they'll maybe start engaging a little bit more in one platform than the other, or depending on, I think a lot of artists like seeing when things do happen on one platform, they'll spend more of the time on that. But I do think there's, it's good to be doing that across the board. But obviously, if someone's starting out, it could be quite overwhelming. So it's nice to do the 3.
That's right.
Start with the 3, then ChatGPT, and you will be the best in the industry.
You've got it.
That's brilliant. Rhyme of the day.
So one of the things, it is a lot of work to do. But if you think of like, say I've got to put a short up on YouTube, you can use that same content on all of the other platforms. So if you're going to put it on TikTok, you can put it on Spotify. It doesn't have to be different across all those platforms. So you do have to make a piece of content, but you can put it on all of the different platforms. It's going to reach different audiences. And even if somebody sees it on YouTube and sees it on TikTok, that's a good thing too. They're seeing it twice. They might be liking it twice. It might be the second time that they go, I'm going to go check out that music. Yeah. That sounds real cool.
Or the first time they've seen it, they're like, oh, I'll listen to it later today, but then they don't get around to it. The second time they see it, oh yeah, I'm in my car now. I'm going to listen to the song.
Yeah. And it's kind of like swipe, and then, seen that before. Let me just check that out.
Yeah.
So
I fall for that all the time. Artists hate to be like, I don't believe in the spamming your content or anything, because by the time through the algorithms, say something reaches me, an artist, like new discoveries I make on socials, like if it reaches me 2 or 3 times, I'm not mad at that. I actually end up, if it's something I like, then I end up going and following the artist, listening to their music, and I'm like, I just discovered this new artist. It's like, pretty.
Yeah. Well, you might get 5 seconds of the really cool chorus hook or whatever it is.
And it hooks you in.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, listen. Fan, super fan. Oh, yes. Yeah.
So with artists, how can they plan a release that has the most impact, in your opinion?
So I would, again, look at all the tools that are available to you on the platforms. And this is where a distributor comes in as well. Like if you've signed up to somebody and they are taking a cut of your royalties, then find out, look on their website, talk to them. If like the idea of going with somebody local is that they are based here. You can pick up the phone, you can email. And I would go in saying, here's what I've got. I've got this song. I want to release it on this day. My profiles are set up, but I'm not sure how to do this or whether I should be doing anything else. Is there any, help that you can give me? Again, I would look at ChatGPT or online on various, there's lots of places YouTube, you can go to. But just saying, here's exactly what I'm doing. What are the best ways that I can, get as many people listening to this? And it will spit out a whole bunch of ideas. There will be some things that, we say to an artist around, if you have a little bit of money, it would be worth spending on, some advertising, whether that's in platform, like with Spotify or YouTube, just to boost up those numbers and get more people across it. But yeah, there's lots of tools on the platforms where they want you to use them, and if you do use them, you'll get the best out of the release in terms of people listening. So,
amazing.
But reach out to your distributor. They are taking a cut of your revenue.
They're also humans behind these platforms. It's nice to build those relationships and know people by face.
And I think the beauty of New Zealand is we've got a really cool local community of whether it's your distributor or we've got APRA, New Zealand on Air. We've got lots of government bodies. So there's a lot of people that you can ask advice from. Other artists in New Zealand. I think no one's trying to get the cut of the pie and won't tell you the secret of how to do it.
Everyone's out here too. Like, it's easy to reach out to people and talk to people. I think that's the thing. Yeah, there's like bang on the money. Just go and talk to people.
Yeah.
And hit them up. It's always just, I think a lot of times people do say that, oh, we just assume you'd be busy or you'd be uncontactable, or, you know, I think it's that mentality of like, it's like you'd be surprised how many people don't reach out.
Yeah.
And when you do, it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Even if you just learn one extra thing
Yeah.
about what you should be doing, it could be the one thing that makes all the difference. So.
And also you'll be on the radar of, I think that's the other thing is like, even if it means, you know, you're applying for things and you don't get it, say funding, or just the fact that you're trying and you're putting yourself out there all the time, you become known. People can put a face to like the artist. Like there's so much an artist can do and should do, which can long term really be an advantage for your career, rather than just hiding away and expecting things to happen.
Yeah, I think even 20 years ago when I was in the industry and it was that physical, product industry, connections still are the biggest way of getting your music out there, and it's still relevant today in the digital market. I can hear something and I can tell somebody that I know in Australia, or Going Global happened last week and some people came over and they listened to songs and we talked about it. Like that's still a massive thing. So if you're getting out there and talking to as many people kindly, politely, that, hey, here's my music, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. It's a great attitude to have.
And we were talking about the different tools you were mentioning, and different features. So rewinding back into that, what new features should we be aware of, and should artists be aware of in 2025?
Yeah, so there's obviously lots of features on, particularly Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah.
And there's some interesting features that are just coming out or about to come out. So Spotify, and I'll tell you a personal thing that I would love to happen. I would love, you might go, oh no.
No,
I would love if Spotify took the streaming amount of numbers off the songs so that you couldn't see how much was streamed.
That'd be cool.
Because we get so tied into how many streams has happened for my song, and it seems to be the whole industry guide as to whether something's good is how many streams it's got. So I'd love that to happen. Whether that happens or not, there's been talk about it across the industry. That would be a cool thing in my mind, but it might not be good for other reasons.
Well, you get to choose on Instagram, so it's kind of that would be cool to like have the option of just removing
whether you want to see that or not. And one of the other new things that Spotify is getting into is around, being able to share stuff with your friends in platforms. So you might send a message within Spotify to somebody that's your friend saying, hey, check this out. And that for me that brings me back to the old days of working in a record store where somebody would walk in and say, I want this. And you'd say, oh, cool. Yeah. Have you heard this? This is cool too. Like getting back to that recommendation from a friend or from somebody, you trust their choice of music. That's such a powerful way of getting somebody to be a fan of, something new. So glad that Spotify is doing something in that area. YouTube's now created a cross collaboration of a video so that, if you put a video up and it's got another artist in it, then you can both have it on your YouTube channels, which is cool. So it sort of collabs things a bit more so people can cross between artists. But yeah, these are just small ones coming out soon. There's so many on those platforms right now that we all need to be across and we all need to understand how they work.
Definitely.
But yeah, I will go through waves of being really excited about something and tell everybody. And if somebody can make that easier to do, then I'm all for that. Because getting a recommendation, I'm getting recommendations from my 13-year-old.
My little brother
awesome.
as well.
Yeah,
it's
great.
22, but yeah.
But you get that first recommendation, go, oh, what are you listening to? But then you go, oh man, this is real good. I
actually love what the teenagers recommend these days, what they're listening to is just like, wow.
Yeah, they just consume so much.
And I feel like it's just down to like the feeling and the music, and it's like they're really into authenticity and
Yeah.
the humanized aspect of it, which again you were talking about, like chatting on Spotify, and like
Yeah.
it's all coming down to like we're kind of going against the super manufactured vibe. It's more like people want to connect again a lot
Yeah.
more, and not that we never didn't want to, but I feel like more than ever now, because I don't know, we're somewhat separated.
Yeah.
So people have this, like, they want to be part of a community, be part of a fan base, be part of, like, so
Rather
I think
than
those
the
tools,
algorithm telling you what you like.
yeah,
Right?
I think no one likes to be told by a robot.
We all do. We all get told by a robot what we
Yeah.
should like, but it makes so much of a difference to be told by somebody
That's
your friends.
your friends.
So excited about that.
Can't wait. I haven't used it. Spotify one's out, right? The messaging.
I think it's still in beta.
trial?
Actually, it might be just trialing, but you'll see it released everywhere soon.
Cute.
So yeah.
Cannot wait. And what are some advice that you would give young emerging artists who want to get their music on streaming?
I would give you the advice that it's such an amazing industry to be in, and if you are doing something creative, that's fantastic. You're creating something that no one else is ever going to create, and you're going to offer it to the world. It's brilliant. One thing is, treat it like a business. It is your business. If I was getting into being a data analytics person, I'd be learning about that and all the various things of how to do that. And I think that's what musicians need to do today, is go, okay, this is a business. I need to understand every part of how this works, whether it's your contract with your distributor, management, you'll get touring stuff happen, how distributors work, how to read analytics of how your songs are streaming. Like, this is a business, and you really need to dive into that side of it as well as the creative side. Or if as you get bigger, you'll be able to get somebody to do that for you.
Yeah.
But I think still understanding it.
I 100% agree with that, because there's so much artists can do on the business end, and the more the more you feel in control of just what you want, I guess, next. Like, you can communicate that a lot better when you do expand your team and there's more people that come on board. It's, at least you won't be like misunderstood, or you can always like, have a hand in it and like understand the parts and do the parts, because there's so much you can do.
Yeah.
I think,
I
love the business side, to be honest. Like, it's
endless,
addictive. It's a game.
It's huge.
Vibes.
And it is. It's a great business. I think the other thing is, don't give up. Like, stuff does not happen straight away. Often we see all those things of, somebody going viral, and that's amazing. That's, we've had some amazing viral moments in New Zealand, which is great. But it's the very small percentage of people that get that. Yeah. And just don't give up. If your song is really good, it's amazing. We've got songs that, I got a song from 1987 that's now doing 3 million TikToks a day.
Your song?
Not my song. Oh my God, I wish. No, it's a
I love
it's a
that they're all
song.
coming back, like the songs from the, they're going viral now, and like, who was it? Like, I think it was a Nelly Furtado song. There's a few, quite a bit of the older songs coming back.
It's even just, our local artists, there's, it may be 6 months from now that song suddenly gets picked up in some way. So just write really good music, and, don't be disheartened if it doesn't happen straight away. You've just got to keep plugging at it. This is a long-term career, and it will take time.
Couldn't have said it any better. Well, thanks, Jody.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks so much for
the
having me.
chats. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. High five.